This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're in Monte Carlo, ahead of Boxing Bonanza.
Yeah, the Boxing Bonanza's a weird one really, isn't it? I can't say that it was my idea, the Boxing Bonanza.
Especially 2 years in a row.
No, it's Monte Carlo like it.
Oh.
So they wanted to keep it. I wasn't going to argue with them, to be honest with you. I mean, look at it, it's unbelievable. Apologies for the squinty, but we're trying to get a few rays here.
Absolutely.
Been a bit under the weather.
Yeah, what's up with you?
Terrible man flu. Hey, how are you, Frederick? All right, mate? It's all right, mate.
Sorry.
You okay? Good man. I've had terrible man flu. On a Sunday night after the AJ fight, I think it was just all the running around and stress and every fight going the distance and upsetting everyone, putting Joe Cordina in and just, I don't know, just took it out of me. And I just had a bit of man flu, Coog, so just trying to get some rays this morning before the weigh-in.
You need to put it together for the next couple of days.
I know, and then New York next week. And then we've got a couple of weeks off actually, so good.
We'll come on to that in a minute. Yeah.
What, the weeks off?
Oh, come on, not the weeks off. Your upcoming stuff. Yeah, let's start with Jamie McDonnell. A fight that many people thought that he didn't win the first time. He did win it.
Yeah, I thought it was
according
very close.
to the record.
He started terribly last time, didn't he? And he lost a lot of the opening rounds. Finished well, but I think he's going to have to start much better this time. I think Solis is going to start like a train. It's a really good fight. I think he underestimated Solis last time. Solis is a two-weight world champion. I think. Yeah, flyweight and super fly, I think. Very good fighter. But I really fancy Jamie to do the business this time. He looks great, he's done the weight great. He's fired up to prove people wrong in this fight. And he's probably lost a bit of ground over the last year because, you know, he was messed around about the Paul Butler fight. And that fell through, so he's really now in a position he wants to kick on. And, you know, he was at a stage of getting close to people perceiving him as the #1 bantamweight in the world. And now, obviously, Ryan's gone past him. So, yeah, he wants to go out and make a statement.
Is it my understanding that you don't really want him to move up in weight?
Basically, I've no say in those kind of things. So whatever he does, I mean, Joe Gallagher calls me every day. Oh, what's he doing moving up in weight? We're supposed to be fighting next, but I can't dictate if a fighter's going to move up in weight. I'm not a promoter that sits there and says, right, you've got to move up in weight, son. I mean, it's not my responsibility. So I don't. I mean, I saw some reports saying he'd move up in weight. I don't know. I mean, I think the Paul Butler fight is a good fight for him. It's a big fight. I don't see many big fights at Super Bantam. But if he has to move up, he has to move up. So, but he has to beat Solis first. You know, if you thought he lost the first fight, you've got to think that it's a very tough fight tomorrow night. And it is a very tough fight. So.
We're only going from what David Caldwell's saying.
Yeah, I mean, you've done the interviews with him, but I think, look, there's probably more money in bantamweight than there is at super bantamweight for Jamie McDonnell.
Unless he moves up to feather.
I don't. Well,
that's what they're talking about as well. The possibility of both.
I think that would be a mistake moving up from bantam to feather. But listen, Jamie McDonnell is in. We talk about this closing phase, don't we, of people's career. Jamie is in that. Now, whether he's got 3-5 fights left is something like that. So he wants the most money for every single fight that he's in. That's the only thing that's important to Jamie McDonnell. And of course, unifying and capturing titles, but ultimately setting himself up now for a great life.
Scott Quigg. Spoke to him last night for about half hour.
How's that?
Yeah, I mean, he's never ideal to interview.
I feel as though he's gone a bit under the radar at the moment.
Yeah, that's what we spoke about as well.
And that happens when you move abroad.
Yeah.
Same with Luke Campbell, moves out to Miami. It's just, you're not around anymore. You know, you can't pop in here and pop in Sky and be at the fights and, you know, be around town and people seeing you and, you know, lodging in their mind. So, but it's good for his career. And I'm actually happy for him to go on the quiet and on the blind side because everyone's talking about Warrington. I mean, not being funny, but you can't, in my opinion, Quigg's at another level to Warrington. Do you know what I mean? Like, Warrington's a very good fighter, but for me, Quigg is elite level. And Warrington's a world-class fighter. He's not elite. Selby's elite, Frampton's elite. But I put Quigg with them, not with the others. at featherweight, you know? So I'm happy for him to go along. This is a WBA eliminator. Hopefully after this, he'll get put forward for Mares or Santa Cruz. I'd love him to see him fight Oscar Valdez. And I think we've got a chance of making a Selby fight as well. You know, no reason why that fight can't be made with Jamie Senegal and those guys. We've talked about it enough. So, yeah, I think Quig's in a good position, and he's happy doing what he's doing. Like I said, working, improving, going down the blind side, and you know, it's a big fight for him tomorrow.
I've been talking to him yesterday. He said that obviously the talk at the moment of featherweight is between like Selby, Warrington, and Frampton, but he says it's more down to the fact that they're kind of under one banner with BT and BoxNation
Well,
at the moment.
I think the talk is mainly because Warrington's now mandatory for Selby.
Yeah.
And people are talking about Frampton. I think that Frampton, you know, the move to BT was to fight Josh Warrington. That's what I think the plan is. I would have wanted him to fight Santa Cruz. Whether I could have delivered that or not, who knows? But I think with Selby, I don't think Selby's under the BT banner. He just is for his next fight, by the sounds of things. So no reason why we can't get him against Quig in the spring. But he's mandatory, he's Josh Warrington. So it'd be interesting to see what happens there if Warrington fights Selby or if Warrington fights Frampton. I don't think Frampton's mad on the Selby fight. It's a bad style for him.
Derek Chisora. We said a little chat here yesterday. Yeah, European title fight against K-Ball. Have I pronounced that right?
Caballero.
Cabiel. Cabiel?
Yeah. Maybe that was the
French version.
local.
Yeah. Plans for Derek next year. Touch wood, he
I
comes
think it's a
through
big
this
fight
Saturday.
for him on Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, again, people haven't heard of Kabul or whatever you called it. So people just presume that it's an easy fight. He's 18, 19 and 0 European champion. And Del Boy's kind of risking quite a lot on Saturday because he's a name. And he's one of those guys that's going to get a big fight sooner or later. But he just wants to be in fights and he wants to be active. I really think a good performance tomorrow night can put him in a great position. And that could be to fight Dillian Whyte. Excuse me, I'll just get the sweat off him. Dillian Whyte, even Wilder, even Parker. You know, I think he's a perfect opponent. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but a better word is a name for all those guys, particularly Joseph Parker. But of course, a lot of people still want to see Dillian Whyte fight.
He says yesterday that he's not interested in winning a world title. He wants to make the most money.
Yeah.
Literally, that's his priority. He's not really for someone who hasn't won a world title as well.
That's the Dillian Whyte fight. So,
but that's all dependent on what happens with this Wilder situation with White.
yeah, I mean, I saw the note from the WBC. Well, something in the press release to say that Brazil against Molina
Is the final eliminator.
I can't believe that's true. I mean, I put a message into Maurizio Suleiman yesterday and said, how on earth can you make... I mean, I like to get creative, but to make, number 9 against number 13 for a final eliminator, when we just had a geezer, Dillian Whyte, who's number 3, box on Saturday, win the silver title. So I'm waiting for clarification on that, but I think that they should make Brazil against Dillian Whyte for a final eliminator. You know, we've got to move on Dillian Whyte's next fight quite soon. That's February the 3rd at the O2. We want Wilder, but if not, Brazil, Chisora, you know, one of those.
Will it only be a pay-per-view show if it's Wilder?
Yeah, I don't think that the main problem with the Whyte Chisora fight is they want a load of money, and the money they actually want can only be achieved through pay-per-view. Listen, I don't think it's pay-per-view. Being honest, they'll disagree.
As a headline sold,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, listen, if it had 3 or 4 world titles, you know, it was a. But I think the way that the pay-per-view is going, we need to be the standout, you know, and we need to be the huge events and crowds and hype, you know what I mean? Rather than just saying, oh yeah, stick that one on pay-per-view because nothing else in February, so might as well do that, you know?
Have they accepted that?
No.
So there's your problem.
Yeah. but there is still a lot of money in the fight, non-pay-per-view. I believe it sells out the O2. Sky will pay great money for the fight, international TV sponsors, so perhaps they should look at it and say, still amazing money, let's do that fight. I'd like to make it.
Depending on what happens this weekend, obviously between Wilder and Stavern, is that when you will make another offer to Wilder?
Yeah, I'll probably have to make a couple of offers to Wilder, probably one for Dillian White and one for Anthony Joshua. They ain't going to make us an offer, are they? For it's all very well. Like, I've never known a team talk so much shit in my life. Like Deontay Wilder and Lou DiBELLA and all that lot. I mean, they are so clueless about the financials in that fight. So clueless. Like, yeah, well, make us an offer then. You know, you talk about the fight. What are you doing? You're talking about the fight, essentially waiting for us to make you an offer. That's all you're doing, waiting for us to make you an offer. Because you can't make an offer. You know, so it's up to us to make the offer, which they will claim is an insult and how disrespectful it is and etc, etc. They'll price themselves out of the fight and I'll have to tell you what the number was and everyone will moan and say, how can they not accept that number? And they'll say it was a shambles and it was an insult, and this is just what happens.
So their team wants Joshua to be part of the White deal.
Yeah.
But surely that's inevitably going to happen anyway.
Of course it is. That's what I'm saying. But it doesn't. We don't sign a White deal with Joshua involved. It's two separate fights. What I'm saying is, if you beat Dillian White, we have no choice but to fight you. And by the way, it becomes twice the size. So, if you back yourself to beat Dillian White, you're actually increasing your value in the Joshua fight considerably. But they think again that it's an insult that they have to go through White to get to Joshua. That's not how we're selling it. You don't have to fight Dillian White. I'm just trying to make the Joshua fight as big as possible.
So is there an option for... There's no option for Joshua's next fight to be Wilder, is there?
Probably not in February or March. No, I mean,
No,
I'd like to do it in the summer in stadium, yeah. But we may wait till the summer, so it could be his next fight, yeah.
But ideally, you want to get him out, Joshua.
I think so. I'd like him to box 3 times next year.
How are we with the Parker situation for that?
David Higgins lives on another planet. I'd like to go there for the weekend. It sounds fun. I've made them an offer of 20% and it's disgusting. Maybe someone's phoned him up impersonating me. I'd love to see the emails or the offers. Maybe someone's hacked my emails or something, I don't know. I've not had one conversation with David Parker about the Joshua Wilder fight.
Joseph Parker.
Joseph, with David Higgins. Not one. Not one with anybody. In fact, he texted me the other day, about 4 or 5 days ago, and said, bullshit aside, or like, you know, PR aside, or publicity aside, if you're serious about the fight, let's talk. And I've just had man flu and just come out here and I haven't got back to him yet. And all I've seen all week is my offer of 20%. It's a good starting point though. In fact, thank you for that bit of advice, David. David, this is an official offer for Joseph Parker to fight Anthony Joshua. You can have 20%. There you go.
We now know that Luis Ortiz has been given a year ban by the WBA, stripped of his mandatory position. What's the situation regarding Joshua's mandatory?
They're sorting it out at the moment. They've just had the convention. There's talk of Povetkin, the Povetkin hammer winner. Povetkin's team are out here, World of Boxing. We're going to have a chat tonight. So it could be, that fight looks like it's going to take place in December. So it could be the Povetkin hammer winner. We're just waiting to find out.
Where do you think Joshua will box?
Don't know. One of the fights in 2018 will be abroad. Because we can't keep expecting to put on these 70, 80,000 and people to pay. You know, it's 3 times in a year is a lot of money for people to have to stick in their pocket, and you understand? So we'd like to ease the pressure a little bit and perhaps take one of those fights, maybe the February or March fight abroad.
America?
We don't really want to.
America?
Maybe. Maybe the Middle East. We don't really want to do it because you can't create the same spectacle. But you know, I think that if we're going to come back when we fight again in the UK, it needs to be a monster, and that'll be the summer fight. Really.
You said after the fight the other day with Joshua and Takane, you said that, about Tyson Fury.
Yep.
So, is that right that what we're reading that the board have asked Fury to give them a proposed date of his comeback? Is that correct?
I don't know. I don't know why you're asking me that.
Because you said you want to work with him.
I do, but don't know that I know his conversations with the British Boxing Board of Control. I spoke to Tyson about the fight, and we've had a couple of good chats, and I believe he's ready to come back, and he knows how much money there is. One thing you got to know about Tyson Fury is he's not an idiot. He's quite sharp. He knows the business, and he's not happy, and he's lost his motivation because he has zero direction, and that happens with a lot of fighters. I've seen it many times. You ask a fighter what it's like to be in camp without a date, it's demoralising. And even when you say to a fighter, listen mate, you got to be professional about this, get your head on, yeah, but they can't do it. So I wanna make the Joshua Tyson Fury fight. I think I've made that pretty clear. And to do that, I think he needs to come back. He wants to fight before Joshua. I think he needs to prove to people that he's back. He's proved enough already, essentially. But do you know what I mean? I think, and he should come back in March, April, May, and then we make the fight at the back end of 2018. Everybody wants it. AJ wants it. Fury wants it. It's the biggest fight ever. So, I think Tyson realises that he didn't make a lot of money for the Klitschko fight, and therefore he hasn't made big money in his career, which is outrageous because he beat Klitschko to unify the heavyweight division in Germany at 27, and that's it. Didn't make big money for that fight, and never made another penny after. So at some point you wake up and you think to yourself, hold on, what's he got? 3 kids. I've got to lay the foundation for my kids in the future. And he can do that very easily. He can do that in one fight. He can do that in a comeback fight. So we'll see.
Hey, Belly, your undercard. Are we going to see O'Hara and Tommy Cole?
You might be. I spoke to Steve Wood about that fight about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he weren't mad on it. And then I saw the text from a tweet from Tommy Cole yesterday. I went back to Steve Wood and he said, "Yeah, I've seen those. Let me speak to Tommy." So you might see that fight
on that card.
You like that fight?
Yeah.
Do you like Fielding against Skoglund?
Skoglund, very good fight.
Yeah.
Dave Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he's not out in Monaco.
Mm-hmm.
Slip disc.
Yeah, apparently. I spoke to Mike Marsden. They're going to wait, obviously, for the Thomas fight now. It was just a bit of a mad one last week. Obviously, he was due to fight, and Mike ran up to me backstage and said his back's gone. Didn't even really get a chance to go and see him because it was, AJ was walking quite soon. And I don't think it's anything major. You probably know more. You speak to him all the time.
So, are you? Leroy Thomas is fighting in an 8-rounder this week.
6-rounder tomorrow.
6-rounder.
Yeah.
So, he should be okay.
Yeah.
For the 17th.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you confident that will be the fight for Dave Allen?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I mean, unless Leroy Thomas, he could always vacate the title. But I can't see. No disrespect to Leroy Thomas, people queuing up. I mean, he's on a lot of money for the Dave Allen fight. So, I think Dave Allen could also fight Sam Sexton for the British. Almost rather he took that fight. So, if Sam Sexton's watching and Graham Everett, and you want to fight Dave Allen for the British title, can you give me a call, please? Thank you.
Okay, I'm sure that'll get round
Do
to
all
it.
these things in the interview, and it actually saves me writing the emails. 'Cause I know
Everyone in
everyone
boxing
I
watches
know.
you. Yeah. Everyone. Even people like your dad. And Barney. They all
Yeah,
watch it.
it's true. It's true, actually.
True
Hi,
story.
Dad. Hi, Barney.
So you've got kind of a split card with Hay for this, haven't you? So is your side kind of done?
We got Conor Benn will fight, WHYTE will fight, Fielding against Scogland, Allen.
O'Hara?
Got O'Hara probably, yeah. He's got Joe Joyce is fighting.
Yeah.
I think they're looking at Tom Little maybe. That fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll be a good fight. Michael Page, the Scottish kid as well.
Willie Hutchinson. Yeah.
I think one other as well, yeah. So it's really going to be a good card.
Now, at your press conference in Dublin recently,
Yeah.
well, about 3 days ago, Katie Taylor, did you say that Katie was going to be fighting the 15th of December
She will be.
in London?
Looks like it.
Okay. Where?
Might do it, your call. I'm struggling for a venue really, and I just thought it's probably like a 3,500 show. So why go to a 5,000 or 6,000, and why not stick it in a York Hall, get all the Irish in? It's going to be a mad show. If we do it in York Hall, I can't even go on sale with the tickets because you've got Katie Taylor defending her world title. We're trying to make Jake Ball against Miles Shinkwin. You've got Lewis Ritson's going to defend his British title. You've got Gamal Yafai defending his title. You may have Martin Ward for the European title. You've got Lawrence Okoli. You've got Joe Caldina. Because this is our last chance to get everyone out before the end of the year. But now I've actually just told you that, I think maybe I will go to a bigger venue.
Well, what's your options though?
What venue-wise?
Yeah.
Not a lot really, that's the
But
problem.
you're definitely going to go in London?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because also it's after the press conference to WHYTE.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. You're going to definitely do that on the Friday then?
Yes, I've got to get everyone out.
No, but what I'm saying is the press conference.
Yeah, do it at 1 o'clock and then the show starts at 6. What's the problem?
No problem.
What's the matter with you?
I don't know why you make things so difficult
Yeah,
for
I know,
yourself.
I know.
You've got a pay-per-view show that week.
You know what,
and then
as
you're
well?
putting in another show, yeah.
We've done, I think this is the 9th show on, next week is the 9th show on the spin, or something. It's ridiculous, it's terrible planning. And it is about 90 degrees out here, and I'm in a suit. And I'm lucky I've got this jacket on because sweat patches are going to be out of control. And the man flu's not helping. Sorry everybody.
It's alright, it's alright. It's life.
It's life. I'm getting
yeah,
over there.
Logistically, 2 shows running sort of within a day of each other. You only did it before with Scotland and Liverpool,
Yeah.
so I suppose you can do that.
Yeah, 2 days fine. We'll be okay.
So, any more updates?
Now we've got a big US show next week, can't wait for. Danny Jacobs against Arias, Miller against Wack, Selden Ortiz, Conor Benn, and we've got a couple of weeks off, so it'll be nice.
Why didn't you do your show like on the 2nd or the 9th or something? No option for that?
No, second came a bit quickly, and Katie needs a bit longer. I was going to go on the 9th or the 8th, but Katie needs really another week, because obviously she just fought.
So they had a press conference the other day. Frank Warren had a press conference with DeGALE and Selby. I don't know if you saw my interview with James
Yeah,
DeGALE.
I did actually, yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, pretty much everything he said was true, pretty much. Pretty accurate. He said about, I sent him an email 2 weeks. Yeah, they asked me to make him an offer or try and put a show together for December, and I didn't make the offer or come back to him. And then I sent him an email about 2 weeks ago saying, do you still want me to look at the numbers? And they didn't come back because obviously they've done this deal. But no, everything he said was right. I wasn't willing to put my hand in my pocket to pay that sort of money for this kind of fight. Doesn't make sense. But he made it very clear in his interview he's open to all offers for his next fight, and no one pays more money than me for the big pay-per-view fights. Simple. Do people pay more money than me for fights that are mediocre or people aren't really interested in? 100%. That's why you saw Carl Frampton not take Martha. I can't pay. I'm not willing to pay mad money for fights that people aren't interested in. Let me make you an offer for a mega fight. No one will beat it. No one. And if that opportunity comes for James, we'll work together in the future. If the fight's out there to be made, big fight, we will 100% do it together, because I'll be able to come up with the money. But I can't for a voluntary defence against. Has it been announced yet?
No, it wasn't announced.
In 4 weeks against no opponent, I can't give him that sort of money, because it's not good business. Good business for him. And I think what he's done is smart. He's found someone that's prepared to overpay for a nothing fight, because they need to. So, but as he said, he's a free agent. It's only one fight, and he'll work. Basically, what he's saying is he'll work with the highest bidder. That's James DeGALE. No, and I like the fact that he's not masking it, is he? He don't really give a monkey's who he's working with. He just wants to get paid. Some people have plans, strategies, but James doesn't. It's just sort of fight by fight. Give me the most money, and I'm there. So, but no, I pretty much the interview was spot on. Again, I like James DeGALE a lot. Cool guy. We have a good laugh together, and I'm pretty sure we will work together in the future. But I reckon it'll just be on the big fights.
Are you playing the show in January?
No.
You won't do January?
First show will be February the 3rd at the O2.
Okay. That's nice to know.
Yeah, January's a bit of a waste of time, to be honest.
Okay, so there's no Liverpool show, Birmingham show. Your show will most likely be in London.
It might be in Birmingham, but I think most likely in London, yeah. What's with the head going down and sulking?
That week.
Just don't worry about it, man.
I'm not worried, I'm
You'll
just
get
saying,
through
you're
it.
confused.
You've only got to turn up with a camera. We've got to do the shows. It's like you're having a breakdown.
I'm having a breakdown.
Right.
Right.
Go to the weigh-in.
Go to the weigh-in. Yeah, tune in tomorrow night. Live from 8 UK time?
Live from 7.
7.
We're an hour behind in the UK, aren't we?
Oh, 8 here, 7 there.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Thank you very much.
Cheers all.
Again.